Hello everybody, welcome to Truth Broadcasting. I'm the host of this program, Mr. Truth Dare, because I will always dare to tell you the truth, the whole truth, to the best of my knowledge, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. This is the program that does have the real potential to clear up every brainwashed mind in this country, possibly the world, but the word needs to be shared. Please do so. Don't be in any way fearful of commenting, liking, what have you. At any rate, folks, of course, as you know, the news does not get good for the most part. It just gets worse, and that is what's continuing to happen every day. It just gets worse. We now have gone from Delta to Omicron, which someone brought up this morning, and I thought it was rather interesting, personally, that if you do a little bit of letter manipulation with Omicron, you get the word moronic. Yeah, well, that's what these elites think of all of us. Well, we are not moronic, obviously. We have figured out their game plan. We did it pretty early on, actually. And we know what's going on. It's amazing how they're using Greek alphabet for this. And they went from Delta, which is pretty early on in the Greek alphabet, to Omicron, which is like the 15th character. Why? Because they're ramping up. Instead of going from in succession, from alpha to beta, all the rest, until they get to Omicron, they went straight from Delta to the 15th character, which is, according to them, coming out of South Africa, or where it seems to have first appeared. Allegedly is far more contagious, causes far more serious health problems, and from everything that I am hearing from the medical community, those who have gotten marked for death are the ones who are going to have the most issues with this. Not surprising, since the mark for death does nothing but deplete the body's immune system. And every time you get another mark for death, your immune system becomes that much more depleted, to the point that all anyone has to do is just cough near you, whether they're sick from anything or not, and something completely benign could very well kill you, and probably will. Roy Potter, I am suggesting, strongly recommending, listen to at least the last 3 broadcasts that he did. He provides links that are very important information that you need to know about. Let me know how much of what you glean from the hour and 42-minute video that makes sense to you. Now, by the time this man got to the end of it, it was starting to make sense. Some of it, I don't know. It was hard to follow some of it. I'm usually pretty good at piecing things together when people are doing a video like that. But I was having some difficulty following it. But like I said, it started to make some sense at the end. At any rate, one of the links that he provided, Roy Potter, is of a priest. I've mentioned him in the past. He seems, I don't remember his credentials, but they were pretty up there. And he appears, for the most part, to know what he's talking about. The thing that really concerned me is when he said that even if you have not been marked for death, if you live with someone who has been, you are likely not going to survive living with that person. He mentioned there's sweat getting on things that you touched. their saliva, what have you, that if you come in contact with any secretions from their body, that you will also be infected. That sounds really, I don't know, I can't say it necessarily sounds far-fetched, but it doesn't sound at all comfortable. I live with one of these people. Two of my sisters and my dad have been marked for death. Of course, they will never admit it. They're controlled by nanobots, and their minds are just not able to think clearly. This priest also said that we can, and I've mentioned this once before also, but this is the second time that he said this, and it was, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I listened to him last time, and he said the same thing, so I'm kind of hesitant on believing this, but I don't know. He could be right on target. I don't know, but this is the second time he said within 3 months to a year, these people are going to begin the process of dying off. He even stated a number of approximately 2 billion, if not more, within the next 3 to 12 months, globally, will be dead. And these are all, of course, going to be people who have been marked for death. And I told you, this is not good news. None of this is good news. One thing that I did see that Roy Potter gave a link to was information regarding solar activity. He says, from his perspective, that it looks as though God, as I said once before, is going to use the sun to wipe these elites out. I'm hoping and praying that he is accurate, because from what I was looking at when I got to the page, it really looked to me as though it was suggesting that the planet could be hit at some point soon in the not too distant future by a supernova. That does not sound like good news. Might as well be a gamma ray burst. Being hit by a supernova is a bad thing, unless it's going to hit them and pass over all of us somehow, like the angel of death killing the firstborn of the Egyptians passed over the Israelites. So, unless it's something like that, it's not going to be good. Just research supernova, planet being hit by supernova. I mean, it doesn't sound good. Of course, I may not have understood completely what I was reading. Have a look at it, see what you think. Come back and tell me what you think. What does it look like to you? At any rate, folks, none of this, for the most part, most of it, is really not looking good in any way for the short term. The stock market has crashed like 1,000 points, probably going to continue going down. We are likely going to very soon see another panic shopping take place, because people are going to be expecting to get locked down again, and we probably will, and this time likely will be worse. We probably will have travel restrictions that prevent anyone from crossing state lines, which means that any of my immediate family, being that they live in Indiana and I'm in Kentucky, who were planning to bug out at our location, may not even be able to get there. Not to mention 3 of my family, as far as I know, could be more, have gotten this mark for death. I don't know how many have, because I don't find out until after they've done it. For all I know, I could wind up being out there entirely alone, with nobody. Just God and myself. Of course, that's all I need as far as staying alive. I can't help but feel like I may need more than that in order to stay sane. I did get a kitten recently. Well, that kitten will be going with me. Your guess is as good as mine with reference to our future. Mine, yours. I don't know, it sounds very depressing. I had to really hold back a lot of tears yesterday when I was at work because it does not sound in any way pleasant being the last one, potentially, in my family to survive and having no one else. It doesn't sound appealing to me at all. Somehow, some way, I'll get through it if it does come down to that, and so will you. God is with us, and He will not leave us or forsake us. Till next time, Mr. Truth there, signing out. Love y'all.